So children, in detail we have discussed about the moving coil galvanometer, the principle, the construction part, theory and working part. Now, this galvanometer, ordinary galvanometer, it is very sensitive instrument. Okay, so very sensitive in the sense it gives the full scale deflection even with a very small current, even in terms of microampere. So to measure large current, this ordinary galvanometer we cannot use. So to measure large current, we are using the instrument called ammeter. Okay. So this ordinary galvanometer can be easily converted into an ammeter for measuring current. So how it is possible? That is what we are going to discuss in this topic. That is conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. So an ammeter is a device which is used to measure current through a circuit element. To measure the current through the circuit element, see, we are using ammeter, so that ammeter should be connected in series. In lower classes, you have in class 10 Ohm's law, you have studied. So to measure the current in the circuit, we are using ammeter, and that ammeter is connected in series with the circuit element, so that the current which is to be measured actually passes through it. Okay. So but one thing we should be able to note down, that when it is measuring the current, it should measure the accurate value. So if the ammeter, the instrument itself is having large resistance, the total resistance of the circuit element, or the total resistance of the circuit, that will be changed. Okay. So the ammeter, because we are using the instrument ammeter, we are using to measure the current. So it should have very low resistance, so that the total resistance in the circuit will not change, and therefore the total current, the actual current in the circuit will not vary. So ammeter is designed to have a very small effective resistance. In fact, the ideal ammeter should have zero resistance. Okay, children. So now we are going to see how the galvanometer, ordinary galvanometer, very sensitive galvanometer, how we can convert it into an ammeter. Okay. So to measure large current with using the galvanometer, we are using a small resistance, and that is called the shunt resistance, that is connected in parallel with the galvanometer coil. Okay. So suppose this G represents the galvanometer coil. This galvanometer itself, it show a very large deflection for a small current in terms of microampere. So when we to measure the large current, a small resistance called a shunt resistance is connected in parallel with this. Okay. So the resistance connected in this way, this is called a shunt. So since the resistance is very low, a small part of the total current will only pass through this galvanometer. So because the shunt resistance is very less, so only out of the total current, a very few current will be passing through this galvanometer part, and the remaining current will pass through this shunt. So, and this value of this shunt resistance, it depends upon the range of the current, how much current you have to measure, whether in terms of milliampere or ampere or 50 ampere, yeah, 500 ampere, in what range you need. Accordingly, you will have to select the value of shunt resistance. How we are going to see that? See here, galvanometer and the shunt resistance is connected in parallel. Okay, so this PD across the galvanometer and PD across the shunt resistance will be the same. So G is the galvanometer resistance, Ig is the current through the galvanometer. So PD across the galvanometer will be Ig into G, and PD across the shunt resistance, that is current through the shunt resistance, the total current was I. Out of that, Ig passing through the galvanometer. So the rest current I minus Ig is passing through the shunt resistance. So PD across the shunt resistance will be I minus Ig into S. And since they are connected in parallel, we can equate. So Ig into G is equal to I minus Ig into S. From that, S you can calculate. S is equal to Ig divided by I minus Ig into G. Okay, so in that way, how much current you have to measure, accordingly you can calculate the value of the shunt resistance. So since they are connected in parallel, the net resistance, effective resistance of the ammeter, that is equal to G into S divided by G plus S. Okay. So this the shunt resistance, we are using the shunt resistance to prevent the galvanometer from being damaged due to large current, and to convert galvanometer into ammeter, and of course to increase the range of the ammeter. Clear, children? Now one or more things I want to mention here. An ideal ammeter, the resistance is 0. Okay. Now higher the range of the ammeter to be made from the given galvanometer, lower will be the value of the shunt resistance. Okay, means if you want to increase the range, जितना आपको increase करना है, accordingly that much lesser value of the shunt resistance to be used. One more thing, note down, the ammeter of lower range, it has higher resistance than ammeter of higher range. Okay, and the range of an ammeter can be increased, but it cannot be decreased. All these are the general points regarding the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. Now children, coming to conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. We know that voltmeter is an instrument to measure the potential difference. You are familiar with that instrument, class 10 Ohm's law. You have connected the voltmeter across a resistor. So voltmeter is used to measure the potential difference across any 2 points in the circuit. So if you want to find out the PD across any 2 points, you will have to connect this voltmeter across those points. So what I want to say that voltmeter is always connected in parallel with the circuit element across which you want to find out the potential difference. So a small part of the total current passes through the voltmeter, and so the current through the circuit element will decrease. If the resistance, if some part of the total current is flowing through the voltmeter, then what will happen? The main circuit, the current will change. Current will change means you will not get the actual value of the potential difference. Okay. So to avoid this, what is being done? The voltmeter should be designed to have a very high resistance. In fact, the ideal voltmeter should have infinite resistance. Why, children? Because if the voltmeter is having low resistance, when you connect the voltmeter in parallel, major part of the current will be flowing through the instrument. So the current in the main circuit will vary, and once the current in the main circuit vary, the actual potential difference you will not get the value. So an ideal ammeter should have infinite resistance. Okay. Now let us see how we can convert the galvanometer into voltmeter. A galvanometer can be converted into a voltmeter by connecting a high resistance in series. Okay. And this value of this resistance is so adjusted that only the current Ig, which produces the full scale reflection in the galvanometer, is passing through the galvanometer. Only Ig current is flowing through the galvanometer. Okay. And the high resistance is connected in series with the galvanometer. So what will be the total resistance of the voltmeter? They are connected in series. So total resistance will be R plus G. So we can use the Ohm's law here. According to Ohm's law, the current flowing is Ig. So Ig is equal to, let V the potential difference, V divided by total resistance. So Ig is equal to V by R plus G. Or R plus G can be written as V by Ig, or R is equal to V by Ig minus G. So according to the range of the voltmeter, you can select the value of the series resistance. Okay. And so here the total resistance is R plus G. Now one or two points just note down. One, already we have discussed that an ideal voltmeter should have infinite resistance. Then a voltmeter is always connected in parallel with the circuit element. Okay. So because of high resistance, it will draw only very small current, and hence the potential difference across the element will remain practically unchanged. Means you are getting an accurate value. and higher the range of voltmeter to be prepared from the given galvanometer, then accordingly the value of the series resistance should also be high. Okay. Then the voltmeter of lower range has lower resistance than the voltmeter of higher range. And the range of the voltmeter, either you can increase. If you want to increase, you can increase, or if you want to decrease, you can decrease. So note down all these points regarding conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter.